being a good person or whatever is also attractive, but it all starts off from the physical appearance. If you're not physically attracted to somebody in the first place, you're not even giving them the chance to even get to know their personalities. What's up, world? Welcome back to Cancer Thoughts. It's your boy Better Days here. So a few of my videos recently have been on a few more heavier topics, so I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little some light. Today we're going to be reacting to a video from Brett Cooper. You guys know how I feel about her, so we're going to get right into it. But before we do, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm trying to make sure as many people find this channel as possible. So do your part, help me out with that, and we're getting right into it.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. I saw an interesting article last month that I thought we should dive into. It was from Evie Magazine. If you guys do not know who they are, you should absolutely go follow them. They have fantastic articles. But they said attractive women were more likely to be right-wing, while left-wing women showed more contempt, according to a study. Did we really need a study to figure out that left-wing women had faces with a lot of contempt on them? No, I don't think we actually did.
No, not really.
Well, I think we can end the video there. I mean, are conservative women more attractive? Yeah, they are. All right, video over. We're done. We're going home. Nah, I'm just playing.
Now, I could use this as an opportunity to just toot all of us common sense women's horns and move on, but this definitely begs more of a conversation, so we're going to talk about that today. Before we do, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section or off-the-clock episode. Alrighty, so this study that Evie is talking about was done in Denmark, and they had over 4,000 images for people to survey, and the accuracy of these predictions was 61%. And the faces of right-wing politicians, they were using politicians in this study, were more likely to have happy and less likely to have neutral facial expressions. And women with attractive faces were more likely to be right-wing, while women whose faces showed contempt were more likely to be left-wing.
I'm ugly and I'm proud! Louder! I'm ugly and I'm proud!
All right, one thing that might skew those results from that study is the facial expressions of the people. Obviously, more smiling faces are just more attractive than angry faces. So
You shouldn't have done that.
that might skew the results of that a little bit more than as opposed to just like having neutral faces. And I think that would have probably been the better experiment to run, as opposed to having people with like angry faces as opposed to like smiley faces. But that's just me.
Photos that they used were of Danish people. I think all of them were Danish politicians in some way, shape, or form. But I would love to see them do this in America, because I think that conservative and liberal women look even more different than each other here. I just think it would be interesting to see. This is not the first time that this has been studied. Evie wrote about that, and they said in 2018, a study published in the Journal of Public Economics echoed these findings by stating that attractive people were likelier to be right-wing. Authors Rolf Daus Peterson and Carl Palmer, he has an easy name to pronounce, wrote that controlling for socioeconomic status, we found that more attractive individuals are more likely to report higher levels of political efficacy, identify as conservative, and identify as Republican. And the original article on this 2018 report cracked me up. The Guardian wrote, hunky-tory, attractive people more likely to be right-wing, study finds. Good-looking people also get treated better and therefore feel the world is just and fair, leading to blind spot when trying to understand the hardship of others. So this is like a whinier explanation of pretty privilege. The only reason that these results happened in the study we did is because all these pretty people, they don't understand what it's like to be ugly, and they don't understand what it's like to have oppression. No, I don't think that's actually what is happening. The researchers, Carl and Peterson, whatever his name is, Rolf, said the study reports that this can lead them to have a blind spot when it comes to understanding the hardships faced by others.
Hold on.
I want to stop her a little bit there, because I do think there's a part of this that's a bit disingenuous, and I hope she goes on to mention it later in the video. But there are obviously people who are attractive on either side of this aisle. Your political leanings or whatever don't have anything to do with how physically attractive you are. So I just wanted to mention that before she kept on going on this little soliloquy.
More likely to embrace individualism and reject the types of social assistance and welfare aid more commonly promoted by left-wing policy. Hot chicks do not want your government handouts. All right, the researcher went on and said, quote, all attractive people are not conservative and not all unattractive people are liberals. But he added, attractiveness gives a person a small push in the conservative direction. Now, I am sure that there are some very attractive but very narcissistic people who fit the bill for this cookie cutter description. But you cannot honestly say that attractive right-wingers are only right-wingers because they're attractive, because they're privileged, and they don't care about other people because they're so busy being hot.
Yes, love that journey for me.
That does not make sense. That is not correct. That is you trying to make some circular argument so you feel better about what you found. It is a cope. That is what it is. So
When did we start using the word cope? I still don't even know what it means really, but he's 100% right in what she just said, which is that
Facts don't care about your feelings.
the findings are the findings. How you want to interpret them is how you want to interpret them, and that's fine. But the findings are the findings. Don't try to rationalize them by saying, well, attractive people get treated better, so that's why, stop it.
commented under this Guardian article from 2018 and said, one only has to attend a Young Conservatives event and then compare the attendees to the types that you see on left-wing marches and handing out socialist worker to prove that the study is indeed correct. I mean, I'd have to agree. We watch all these videos of the crazy people throwing soup on, like, the Mona Lisa and screaming at these protests, and they have the craziest hair, and they're so angry, and they don't take care of themselves because they're so busy being angry at everything. Like, I'm sorry. Again, we really didn't need a study to tell us that. Now, when this recent study came out, I expected to see a lot more outrage, especially with publications other than Evie, who is right-wing, posting about it, but I actually didn't. I saw most people going, yeah, that adds up. Like, this person said, I mean, isn't that obvious? Another person said, yeah, no shit. And then this is the main point, which I kind of made like 2 seconds ago. But this person said, that's because leftists are so full of hatred and anger for anyone who doesn't agree with their philosophies and principles. And this is a cheesy thing to say, and I apologize in advance, and I'm going to cringe as it comes out of my mouth, but it is true. A significant portion of beauty and attractiveness comes from within. And I hate that I just said that because it sounds like I'm doing some storybook Disney princess type thing. Like, oh, just be... But it's cliche because it's true. Like, I sound like my mother. I'm sorry. But I think that the most attractive guys are the funny or very confident ones. That's not about their looks. That is about their personality. For girls, the prettiest girls that I see are the ones who are kind and literally radiate joy. There are a lot of attractive or conventionally like hot chicks out there, but they have the most angry faces. And I look at them and I'm like, oh, you're not really that pretty. It's like,
I think she's capping a little bit there.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, sure, you're right. Being a good person or whatever is also attractive, but it all starts off from the physical appearance. If you're not physically attracted to somebody in the first place, you're not even giving them the chance to even get to know their personality. So I think she's capping on that a little bit. And I gotta say that I thought this video was gonna go a different direction than it was going. I thought that this was gonna go more toward like the way people dress and the way they convey themselves, as opposed to like are conservative women more hot because of just like their facial features or whatever. But I'm gonna talk about that. Maybe I hope she talks about that a little bit more in this video. Actually, let's see before I get into that.
emotional reaction. And you know who does not radiate joy a lot? Radical social justice warrior socialists, because they are too busy finding new ways to be oppressed every single day and blame all their problems on the system and taking no responsibility for their own happiness. And the numbers do not lie, especially when we are talking about women. Because back in April, we also learned that young liberal women are statistically the unhappiest and most mentally ill demographic in America. Evie wrote this, and then they said much data has shown that young women who identify as liberal are much less happy and fulfilled than their more conservative counterparts. And then if that does not convince you, here's another report from 2020, so 3 years ago. Over 50% of liberal white women under 30 have a mental health issue. Are we worried yet? Yes! Obviously! This also fits with all of the young women that are taking antidepressants. Young women are not happy. Specifically, young liberal women are unhappy. This is common sense, guys. Like, all of this goes back to the attractiveness study. Because when you are happy and healthy and mentally well, you take care of your body. That responsibility reflects in your beauty. When you are confident and content, that is reflected in your beauty. When you don't think that men are toxic and you actually want to look nice for them, that is reflected in your beauty. So I'm giving up trying not to sound like Elle Woods or my mother here.
Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands. They just don't.
Your beauty starts from within. I'm cringing, but again, it's true. And it is often correlated with the things that you value, and these reports confirm that. So, good job, right-wing women. You are not only happy, but you are also prettier.
All right, that's the end of the video. It apparently didn't go into what I thought she was going to go into, but I'm going to go into it anyway. Final thoughts on this. I thought this video was gonna go a little bit more in depth. And well, she mentions it a little bit because she mentions about how people want to dress and look nice for men or whatever. But I thought this video was gonna talk more about how like conservative women dress as opposed to liberal women. And I was going to essentially say that liberal women do dress a little bit more revealing, more scantily clad as opposed to conservative women. And men do find conservative women a little bit more attractive than liberal women because conservative women have standards as opposed to how they portray themselves. And obviously, listen, we all want our women to be attractive, obviously, but we also want our women to know when that attraction is supposed to be exemplified and when it's supposed to be displayed, as opposed to just displaying your entire body, whether it's on Instagram using filters or whatever, as opposed to just wearing something that's conservative covering. And at the end of the day, here's something that most women don't even understand. If you're wearing conservative clothing, we as men, we know what's underneath that clothing. We don't need you to reveal to us that you have something that, like, we know. We can tell. Trust me. Like me and my friend, we know.
You need to have the animal instincts.
And a lot of dudes know. We don't need you to wear revealing clothing to like display to us that you have something. We can tell. Like, but going back to what she was saying, I disagree with this entire like study. I don't care much for it. Facial expressions and all that make people more attractive. Like whatever they should have, the study should have been, let's have people have their neutral faces and we'll make the study predicated on that, and we'll see the based on who is rated more attractive whether or not they're liberal or conservative. That would have been the better study, but this whole thing was nonsensical to me, and I don't even know why Brett did this video, but that is what it is. If you liked what you heard today, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like what you heard, thanks for watching the whole video. Consider leaving a comment in the comment section and telling me exactly what you disagreed with. Either way, thanks for joining me on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.